Just because there are too many people at home who open their mouths to demonstrate, so many mouths, so he carried his family to the woods, began his journey to the wild poison. I pulled a rope between two pine trees, fixed the rain cloth you brought with you on it. They built a simple camping tent. Under the cover of the tent, you can eat the steak generously. Don't worry about being discovered. Fix the stove before cooking steak. Da Zhuang used a saw and a dripping tree, borrowed a stake, carried back to the campground. Drill a hole in the center of the stake with a drill bit. The same hole drilled in the side opens up with it. You can light this simple stove with matches. Da Zhuang lay on the ground and kept blowing into the hole. Soon the stove burns vigorously enough. Man burns oil. Remove the only two stakes. Fry in a pan until the steak sizzled under the heat. Add some baby tomatoes to add flavor. Put slices of bread in it. It absorbs grease while heating. Da Zhuang heats the axe with a flame. Put the bread and steak in the pot. Ordered on the axe. Combine into a delicious burger set. Hack it open with an axe. You can squat by the stove, with his back to the tent covering him. Eat beautifully. Don't forget to have a cup of hot tea after such a pleasant wilderness poison. It's true, I want to eat now. Fill an empty belly. I bought melon seeds for 13 yuan. The wind is still blowing without giving money. Feels somewhat guilty, so I stayed in the wilderness. Cooking food alone, I picked up 2 huge tomahawk steaks. Hang the steak on a tree before cooking. Absorb some rain and dew essence to make it taste fresher. And then I ordered a bunch of nonsense. Kicking off the prelude to this wild eclipse. Ham stands by the stone. Place fresh ingredients on the cutting board. Silky knife cutting. Just this knife. I haven't practiced in the back kitchen. It's hard to reach such heights. The sky is beautiful. It started to drizzle. In the green wilderness, the man is busy waving the dishes in his hands. Burn oil in a pan. Put the cut-side dishes into a pot and saute. Meanwhile, shred the uncut potatoes. Put it in the pot and stir-fry together, whatever it is. The exit rate is very high. Ham poured the stir-fried side dishes into a bowl. Listen to the corrections of the treasures. Pork belly to bacon. The man placed its neat size on the edge of the casserole. Pour the side dishes, fried on the side, into it. Finally wrapped in bacon hanging over the edge of the pan. After wrapping the rock, you can put it in a pot and simmer on low heat. Ham was not idle for a moment. Since it is a wild food, then you have to eat hearty. Began to prepare for the second course. Cut scallions and cilantro into minced cheese all night with pepper dressing. Set aside for later. Stir into a paste. And 2 tomahawk steaks hanging from the tree. It's time to show up. Ham first smeared oil on the surface of the steak. Sprinkle with large grains of salt and rub evenly to taste. After marinating, put it on the slate and start under the action of the high temperature. The steak was sizzling. Maillard reaction. It makes the steak full of appetite. Ham brushes mushy cheese on the steak. Take 2 steaks to the next level on the coffin board. Put the grilled steak on the cutting board and cut it. The bones are given to the dog on the side. Cut the steak with a knife. And now another delicacy is out of the pot. Burnt bacon, split in 2 by the knife. See if the treasures at this time are already hungry. Anyway, it's making me greedy. Ham sat in the middle of the blue sky. Start enjoying the food he cooked with his heart. Medium rare steak with dipping. It really makes you have to find something satisfy the taste buds. This cool old guy's name is Diva. Loved to deal with pots and pans since childhood. I have developed a good cooking skill. In his spare time, he would come to the wilderness to eat alone. He first mixed a sauce in a bowl. Then it has burned. A grate on a carbonized fire, put a wild stone on the stove. Its main purpose is to let the stone absorb the heat to achieve the purpose of his old boy cooking. Waiting for the stone to heat up the gap. Leaning on a big tree and drinking a drink generously. The charcoal fire soon turned the stone black. Diva took out a tender steak, fried on a stone. Steak sauce overflows at high temperature. The man keeps flipping the steak. Let it inspire a tempting aroma on the stone. When every slice of steak changes color. It also allows the juice of the steak itself to lock firmly. It won't be lost during the frying process. Biwa pours a bottle of fizzy drink over the rocks. Instant flames combined with the aroma of drinks quickly enter the inside of the beef fiber. Don't tell me he still knows how to eat. All kinds of tricks use spoons. It can only be said that the strong never complain one stone about makes the steak appetizing. Diva put a pot on the stone. Put the fried steak into the pan, and you put the charcoal on the lid. Simmer the steak to medium rare using the upper and lower temperatures. You also burn oil in a pot on the charcoal. Remove the crispy fried dalaba and set aside. The steak is also out of the pot. Cut at this time. Juicy piece of beef. Pair with the liba. And so began the eclipse of the wilderness. Ham has always been cosmopolitan. Just because I'm used to eating alone. So you eat wherever you go? Ham chose a safe place to camp in the jungle. First, collected some undergraduate wood on the spot, hacked down 4 wooden cones with an axe. Beam combination hangs into the soil. Arranged the sticks neatly on top, assembled into a square wooden countertop. Next to it is a simple Confucian frame, just enough to hang the iron pan on it to boil water and cook. The man peeled the potatoes with a skilled knife. After cutting, throw it into the pot. Cook slowly over low heat. Since it is a culinary delicacy, side dishes are naturally in the quiet jungle, waving a kitchen knife in his hand. Prepared scallions, cilantro, and minced garlic, lemon and vanilla for dressing. Put it in a teapot with cheese. Then add a lot of honey. Put it on the coals and melt it. After the sauce prepared with honey is melted, smear on white and clean chicken. Ham is going to roast a roast chicken over a charcoal fire. A large amount of honey can make roast chicken looks better in color. In order to heat the whole chicken in all directions, experienced men with glass bottles open the whole chicken, put it in the pot and start baking slowly. During the period, cooking wine is also added to remove fishy smell and thick chicken surface. Let it taste full, waiting for the roast chicken to come out of the pot. And potato cubes cooked in ham and fried with Chinese prickly ash. Potatoes fried until golden on the greasy little tomatoes. It's his staple food today. The aroma of burnt chicken on the stove is overflowing. The man placed it on the cutting board. I ate it alone with meat and vegetables. Today's second wilderness alone. Contestant or deal. 1. No car. 2. 3 more will not worry about whenever you have time, you will come to the wilderness. And the way he cooks it is with fire. Hurry up and put a stove on the fire. Heat the stone on a charcoal fire. Fishing by the river while waiting for the heat. Fortunately, positive and optimistic people are soon there will be fish bites. Diva excitedly shows off in front of the camera. Block was roasted by the high temperature. The man took out a huge tomahawk steak, going to fry steak on hot rocks. Green mountains and green waters. Thaws the steak standing aside after adding some firewood to the fire. Then began the production of steak. Burnt but black stone. Looks a bit dry. Diva cuts the fat off the steak. They use grease to smooth the stone. Flat stones soon glow with oil. Man puts steak on top, steak sizzling on high heat. Diva kept tapping the steak with a kitchen knife. Let it be heated evenly. Soon the tomahawk changed color on the stone. Falling grease made the fire burn more vigorously. In the blazing fire, tomahawk steak stands upright in the center like a lone hero, waiting for a fierce battle with the enemy. Soon it got dark, and it's time for the steak to be out of the oven. That cuts up the delicious steak. Happily began his hearthstone in the wilderness. Stone carving. If you have no time, gorilla frozen steak. Diva reappears in the jungle, is carrying a big box, obstructed by a large red crab, and I built a stove next to it. Ready to have this big crab on his plate. The ice in early spring has begun to melt. Diva carefully lay on the ice, bring crabs to the shore. Such a big king crab was met by his old boy. If it hadn't been arranged, I ate all the crab legs. And this time, the firewood on the stove is also burning brightly. Ebony Wilvenier. The soil temperature is Wuan. The following is referred to as an avid snow camping enthusiast. Whenever I have time, we'll drive to the camping park in the northern part of braving the snow. Have a great snow camping experience. Of course, there are also villains by his side. Picked an open flatland. Staying away from big trees is a good option. It is very good to prevent snow accumulation. Man fast in the blizzard. Clear the void for setting up tents. The size of the open just enough to bring the dew brought camp with the tent spread out. Building a tent is better than building a shelter. Peanuts are a piece of cake. And Wang Defa's tent is still inflatable. It's a big tent. Quickly cooled in the snow, the man roped the tent in place. Prevent high winds from turning tents into kites. It can also make it more stable. Diva here. He happily fiddled with his ingredients, happy like a child, lying on the ground and banging on the crab's try to wake him up or tell him to do it. Diva broke off the crab leg with force. Please stand by. And this time, there wasn't even a place to sit by the stove. So the man takes the saw and goes to a tree stump, saw off a thick plank. Grunting back to the stove with difficulty, it was placed on the riverbank and used just as a firewood on the stove burns until it is not as smoky as it used to be. I've set up a large iron pan on the stove. Burn oil in a pan. After all the butter in the pot has melted, add rosemary to taste. Then put the broken crab legs into the pot. Add a bag of noodles and simmer on low. Finally, put in a pinch of salt. Waiting for the food to come out of the pot. Divya sat there talking to himself. I don't understand a word of what I said. Due to the heavy snow, it looks like a road. A thick layer of snow fell on the tent. Fortunately, the tent has been set up. Wang Defa entered the tent. A wide, small groove. Put a fireplace in the corner of the house. It's supposed to raise the temperature. After the fireplace is installed, the man sets his prey on fire with the fire burning in the fireplace. It improved the temperature in the house. Yao Di should also make an appearance. Wild storm outside making Yao Di is taking a warm and comfortable nap. They were busy setting up tents for camping. Although the facility is located in a tent in the ice, the living facilities are indispensable on everything. Just like at home. When everything is set up in the tent, the man baked a few sweet potatoes on the stove, sitting in a cozy tent with Zhao Di by his side, sharing delicious food together. And back to the wilderness of poison food, with the delicious food in the pot emitting a tempting aroma. The man fishes out the crab legs and puts them on the grass. I served myself another bowl of noodles. Those who can be elegant in the wilderness are never set at a table. D. Arrange the delicious food neatly on it. Cooked crab legs are bright red, juicy. The man broke the device with a knife. Fresh and tender crab meat fiber root. Here's Mr. Divya sitting at this particular dining table. Start indulging in this meal of wilderness food alone. Good cozy time, always passing by without realizing it. Soon came night. Wang Difa began to prepare dinner. Fry the steak fresh in a frying pan until high-end ingredients often require simple cooking. You don't need so much bells and whistles. After the steak was fried, a bowl of rice was cooked. Cut the steak into pieces, rice set aside is sprinkled, and then you cook the cut steak. Knock in a stupid egg. Finally, pour in a bowl of soy sauce. Xiao Wei scratched it and came up. Wang Defa sat by the warm fireplace. It was his moment. Beef bibimbap served with crispy, sweet, and refreshing radish kimchi. After a full meal, added enough firewood for the fireplace to burn over. I got into the warm quilt and fell asleep beautifully. Deep in the mountains, still decorated with thick snow. Danny, who has always been a loner, just because I haven't eaten meat for a long time, I accidentally bit my tongue while eating, so I decided to come to the hillside full of snow. Make your own wilderness poison meal. Danny picked the land camp under a boulder. You can hide from the wind without being seen. When he took poison here, men are first killed by hacking wood made a fire. Cooking in the ice and snow, a proper pile of charcoal must be arranged and then cut a simple cooker with stones. You can boil water and cook on it. Danny placed the ingredients he brought on the table. They are well prepared for cooking. With minced garlic and cheese. Stir together for later use. First of all, please bring out today's protagonist. 3 cm tomahawk steak. In order to facilitate the taste, change a flour knife to make a horse slaughter chicken for the steak. Rain and dew. Reverse side should also be taken into account. Waiting for the steak to marinate. The man cut a thick wooden steak in two with an axe. Drop 2 heartless ding on it. A wooden handle is tied with thin wire. It is convenient for him to cook and extract handling it properly. Put the chopped steaks on the fire and light them. Danny is going to grill the steak with a lit steak. He starts by putting half the steaks on the ground. The stove was built with stone, and you put the marinated steak on the stove. The other half was lit. The steak is covered underneath. Let the steak be reheated. At this point, the steaks have burnt to the surface. The steak sizzled in the heat. This is the Maillard reaction. Proteins and sugars at high temperature. Sound of eloping, man grilling steak. While heating the bread over the charcoal fire. It seems that this old boy has a good appetite. 2 huge steaks to go with the staple. After sipping a cup of hot tea by the charcoal fire, prepare the side dishes. Cut up the fresh vegetables and place them in a bowl. Colorful matching also looks very appetizing. The steak is caramelized under the charcoal fire. The man made the first garlic cheese. Apply to steak. Make the steak taste richer. The burning coals at this time seem to be enthusiastic. The moment it opens again, the color of the steak is already mouth-watering. You put the baked mask on the flatbread. The steak is continued to be heated at high temperature. Soon a well-done steak will be out of the oven. The man cut it open with a knife. The beef has been deboned after a long roast. Juicy, clear fiber. It's true that I'm jealous of Danny with his back against the boulder. On top of the beautiful snow-capped mountains, we had a delicious beef meal. The Peels are a loving couple. They have a lovely daughter. Although I don't agree with my daughter, my daughter still went to school after all. Husband and wife have nothing. I drove to a small lake to test it. Just got the mini boat with an inflatable terrace. Water camping right in the middle of the lake, on the sparkling lake, to be able to enjoy the world that belongs to them. The second boat is anchored in the middle of the lake, and we started putting the seats on the terrace. It doesn't look big. It's just tiny. Although the Sparrow is small, it has all kinds of camping facilities. Are perennial outdoor camping couple. Soon their lake do was set up. Camp, sitting comfortably on the boat, talking and laughing, looking at the blue sky. Turn the coffee in your hand. The good times soon arrived in the evening. 2 cups of hand-ground coffee are also ready. Came to the floating terrace. While drinking coffee, looking at the beautiful sunset, such a pleasant water camping experience. I feel carsick. I see only busy eyes. Water camping ended with the laughter of tire fishing. No, next year. In a small village in the middle of the small courtyard of Mr. and Mrs. Charlie. Charlie, who had just woken up, came to the courtyard. He first goes to the backyard base, cleaning snow from the road. The hen that just laid the egg is also clucking. Husband and wife have a clear division. They are busy with the flexibility in their hands. Charlie removes a horse from the donkey pen, and there's plenty of grass for it. The snow is falling. Cowling dogs are playing country sex. The small courtyard also became lively in the jubilation. The wife began to prepare for lunch. Skillfully cut the whole chicken into pieces, set aside for later use. In the tea, the stove with the charcoal poured is lit. Start cooking oil. Put the cut chicken pieces into a pot and saute over high heat. Pour in flavorful side dishes. Of course, tomatoes are also essential. The wife is busy in front of the stove. Eggs and a big bowl of flour. Charlie has already prepared the pancakes, ready in advance, and then you cut it with a knife. Use a rolling pin to roll into a thin pie. Put it on the cake scale and bake it slowly. Charlie came to the well, stripping the thick snow from the wellhead. I hid a bucket of cold well water boned on land furnace. Just this ancient way of fetching water. Babies in front of multiple screens may not have seen it. Charlie took a large bucket of water and poured it into the wife pot this time. Put the baked pancakes together in neat sizes. Cut into slices with a knife and pour into a steaming pan. Charlie has already done the nimbleness at hand, playing with dogs in the snow. Little flowers who love snow camping. To get away from the hustle and bustle. Whenever I have time, city, I will drive. Come and find a suitable campsite. Snow camping. This trip just happened to catch a heavy snow. After Xiaohua came to the camping park, I randomly picked a flat area, set up camp. There is no danger that may occur at any time. Take into account. With his thin body, take the big and small tents out of the car, spread out along the moisture mat on the ground. And at this time, the snow is also falling bigger and bigger along every corner of the tent. Only by fixing the tent firmly to the ground, the wind ripped it down with a solid foundation. Small flower handle, inflatable quickly branched out. Due to the selection of campsites, the factors of heavy snow days are not taken into account. Just set up the tent halfway through the layout. There is already danger in the treetops. Falling snow and branches hit the tent directly. They crushed the tent. The desperate little flower was not scared. I continued to be busy in the snow. Water by the small river is gurgling, and the snow is getting heavier and heavier. The little flower mops the carpet. Everything is busy step by step, getting ready for camping. But the thick snow still crushed the tent. I regret not picking an empty place and without the flat bottom of Xiaohua's personality. It seems that several donkeys can't. I don't even know the truth of making amends. The opposite of the sky. Finally, with his persistent effort, putting the tent up again. Those who work hard are often lucky. The small flowers under the snow outside Xiaohua doesn't have to worry about will be crushed again. And decorated the room with lights. There are constant snowflakes falling in the sky outside. Little flowers in the house are constantly busy. Under his careful arrangement, the tent already has the warmth of home. Let's switch back again. Charlie's yard. The wife pours out the steaming noodles. Fried chicken nuggets cover the noodles. Isn't this a proper pot of chicken? When delicious food is served, a couple who have been busy all morning start sitting at the table, and they're eating their own food. Bland days are always boring, but really live every day. Cherish everything in the moment. Xiaohua is good for each of us. The spread of static growth. Little flower, everything has been arranged. The snow outside has stopped. Xiaohua plays with the dog outside the house. As the sky gradually darkens, Xiaohua returns to the house. Lay fire and heat insulation on a corner. Install the domineering fireplace to improve the temperature in the house. Straight shallots pierce through the exclusive hole. After the fireplace is installed, Xiaohua lit a fire with dry wood. With the blessing of fireplace light, the temperature in the house has improved significantly. Flower heats a braised sack on the fireplace, waiting for the food to come out of the oven. Lie in bed and take a break. Pretty soon, the scent of the braised sack filled the moment I took it out. It was really fortunately it can still be Xiaohua cut open the braised sack full of appetite. Sitting by the warm fireplace began his show-off moment. It's not hard to see this satisfied expression. The heat is still just right. After a full meal, the little flower lying on a warm and comfortable big fell asleep. Diva, who is used to eating carrying the stove again to the green mountains and green water, a flat place with a wide view. Instantly woven the stove rack. A dry wood fire was lit in the stove, and the tomahawk steak next to the stove rack is the protagonist of today's cooking. Diva put a stone in the cooker, using the heat of charcoal to heat the stone. Since the stone takes a long time to heat, so Diva would sometimes lie by the river and bask sitting by the stove, push-up exercise. Come and spend the hard-won, comfortable time. Under the high temperature of the stone turned from gray to black. It doesn't look fat, but put the tomahawk steak on it. The fat on the steak is quickly brighten the oil dipped in the blackened steak sauce overflows in the raging fire, and the texture of the beef is starting to come out clearly. The man who ate poison in the wilderness get out a bottle of sparkling drink on the sizzling beef. The burning flame causes the beef to contract rapidly. The juice of the river well beef after itself. A bottle of drink is poured. The steak also becomes ruddy and delicate and the stone in color. Is also under the impact of a temperature difference. Divya threw it into the river. Crossing the river and tearing down the bridge made him really understand. At this time, the steak is only medium rare. Set up an iron pot on the stove. Please put the medium rare steak into the pot and roast the beef slowly. Roast for a long time, become burnt and soft. As the sky gets late, the roasted steak is finally out of the pot. Divya sits by the warm stove, hugging the huge tomahawk steak. I ate it without food. Well, no, I have to go and get a bowl of instant noodles. It's true that I'm hungry and greedy,